All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 379 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football. And today, we're going to jump to some Georgia Southern information. I guess you could call it information, but it's going to be more of an opinion piece as well. I'm going to talk about Coach Clay Helton and the process that has been going on for the past 8-9 months here at Georgia Southern. A lot of stuff has been going on with the new coaching change, a lot of recruiting, a lot of philosophy changes, a lot of personnel changes. And I just got a simple question to ask, and we're going to dive into that. And I want to know your thoughts and opinions about it. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is the First and Frame Rate Show. You can find me on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So if you want to listen to the audio side of this show, it is there for you to listen to your convenience. Also, if you just want to listen to the show or watch the show, YouTube and Rumble are the places to go. So you can be your own program manager and listen to the show anytime you want to. Also, you can listen to some other episodes that we did earlier throughout the year. Also, all the links are down in the description if you want to donate and or support in other ways, as far as subscribing to more than one avenue. And I actually, I recommend you do that, because there's some times where one avenue may not work and you have to go to another avenue to listen, because that's happened before. So just to get that out of the way, and I've said enough about that. Let's talk about Coach Clay Helton. Coach Clay Helton came to Georgia Southern back in November of last year. And for the most part, everything's been on the up and up since. He's basically looked at the talent that we had, made some adjustments, made some changes, added some pieces, let go of some pieces. And you starting to see how he's molding this team. He's putting this team into a form where it could be easily a winning culture. I don't see where there's any downside to what he's done. I think the only two things, and I said two, the two things that I really feel that was wasn't a good move, and I will stick with this, is getting letting Sean Pelkisson and Cam Ransom transfer. Now, I do understand the Cam Ransom thing. I get it. When you bring in a lot of quarterbacks like Coach Helton did, he brought a bunch of quarterbacks in to fit what he wants to do. Cam Ransom is talented enough, I feel, that he could have ran this offense. But nevertheless, Cam Ransom is his own person. He's his own man, and he decided to make that decision to transfer. Now, as far as Sean Pelkisson goes, I really felt that he should have never left. But at the same time, they never put him in this position that he was destined to play. In my opinion, he's a defensive end, and he can play a little bit of linebacker. They never really gave him a chance. Now, the last regime didn't do that, so I can imagine that the new regime was not going to do that as well. And it kind of sucks, because I felt like that was a missing opportunity for Georgia Southern in general to make a statement as far as getting a kid from upstate in the northern part of the country down here to play some football, and you could create a pipeline that way. But nevertheless, I'm going to get into that in a second, how that is continuously being able to play out. Shout out to Pelkisson, shout out to Cam Ransom. But I think outside of those two things, I think for the most part, what Clay Helton has done is almost too good to be true. When you look at the whole scheme of things, bringing in Kyle Van Treese and getting these other quarterbacks in, I mean, I think he's recruited at least 4, 5, up to 6 quarterbacks. Is unreal. The many that he's brought in, the receivers that are coming in to this upcoming season, guys who are just now getting on campus within the next month or so. We got some talent coming in. 4-star running back that we that recruited, that's going to be playing for the Georgia Southern Eagles. On top of all the other guys that we already have, offensive linemen that we're bringing in, the defense that we're bringing in, that's just phenomenal. I'm looking at all these defensive backs that we brought in, the linebackers, and we're retaining some of the guys in the front seven. I look at what Georgia Southern has been going through for the past, hell, I could even say since the 2013 season when Jeff Monken was here, and all the ups and downs that we've gone through. We had some success in the FBS. There's no doubt about it. We won a Sun Belt title. We run a handful of bowl games. But the way that we done it did not, I don't want to say this the wrong way because I don't want this to come off wrong. It didn't come off as stability style wins. For the most part, it felt like the coaches that we had ever since Jeff Monken left, like the coaches that we had, we pieced together a lot of stuff. We pieced together a lot of things to make things happen. We saw what happened, the 2015-2016 season going into the 2017 season, what we really don't like to talk about. The 2018 season, as much as I love that season, winning the Camellia Bowl, looking back on it now, it felt like a pieced together a winning season. You look at the athletes that played on that team. We won despite the play calling. We won despite like I said, I really don't want this to come off wrong. If you go back and look at that season, it doesn't look like everything was put in place properly. Shot Wertz and Wesley Kennedy and all the other guys that played. Tyler Bass, Kendall Vildor, McQuavian Brinson, all these guys who played on that team. They basically went out there and played well with bad play calling. And I really feel that it was bad play calling. We were able to be successful throughout that. And it started to show in later seasons. Even when we won the RL Carrier Bowl, a lot of that stuff that we played was okay, but it wasn't to the point where it just didn't feel established. Going into the 3-9 season, where a lot of things just fell apart, it really showed its head at that point. Now, when you look at what we have now with Coach Helton, you feel a level of establishment. You feel a level of stability. It is not a knock against Coach Lunsford, because what he's done was something really amazing as far as turning football players into men. He can recruit very well. I think he's a pretty good football coach. I just think the guys behind him that did the coordination, the offensive coordinating, just was not there. Even Coach Ruse, when he came back, he brought some spark to what we was able to do, but I think it was just too little too late. Coach Sloan, I think he was the defensive coordinator. Excuse me. I think Coach Sloan, the defensive coordinator, was able to make things happen on defense, and I think the defense played very, very well. I think that was our strongest point. But there was never the stability that we feel now with Coach Clay Helton. I think the process that he has now looks much better so far in the last 7, 8, 9 months than what we had in the past 7, 8, 9 years. And it feels unreal to think about that. And it feels like I'm talking maybe a little bit crazy. But when you look at all the people that we have now in place, you look at all the recruiting that's going on right now. Do y'all realize we just recruited another guy, Kareem Johnson? Kareem Johnson out of Theodore, Alabama. You may need to go look at some of the stuff that he does. 6'5", 210-pound receiver out of Theodore, Alabama. I mean, we're getting studs on this team. The recruiting is off the chart, not for this year, but next year as well. It's one of the better recruiting class that we had in 2022. 2023 is starting to look just as good, if not better. So when you look at this, and I'm looking at what we have here with Coach Clay Helton, and this is a process that's going to be for the long term. I don't know how many years he's going to be here. I'm guessing, if it's up to me, I will say he'll be here for maybe 3 to 4 years. But in those 3 to 4 years, if he's moving at the pace that he's moving now with the players that he have now, we're going to be established for a long time. Because you're going to look at other proteges that come behind Coach Clay Helton that can actually coach this team in the same light that it's being coached and recruited right now. You know, when I look at that and I think of that, like I said, I sit back and think like, what's going on with this process? I don't think Georgia Southern ever seen this type of process take place. I don't think Georgia Southern has ever seen a coach come in and really flip things around, and not only flip things around, but to flip it into a point where this looks like it's a winning formula. Now, I will say this because there's a lot of naysayers out there. I think honest criticism, I think you have a right to be, critical, but you have some people here that's just flat out just saying negative things just to be negative. And I'm not going to say it's necessarily the Georgia Southern fan base. I think there's a lot of people who felt betrayed by Coach Clay Helton. Whatever. You feel betrayed by Coach Clay Helton, get over it. You have the people that are in USC that are still talking about this man. You need to worry about what you're doing in your football program. I'm pretty sure that your football program could be. I'm pretty sure your football program is going to be really successful in the Lincoln Riley. So why even deal with us? We're not worried about you. We're not worried about our former coach. Matter of fact, we hope our coach does very well down at FAU. The way you live in right now down there in Florida, not too far from the beach. I mean, hit my mic. Hit down there by the beach. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. But nevertheless, I think that the naysayers, a lot of them have really fell back a little bit, especially the ones that were Georgia Southern fans. A lot of us was kind of scared of change. A lot of us really like Coach Chad Lunsford. I did. I liked him a lot. But I understood what was going on, and bringing Coach Clay Helton in at first felt like it was a gimmick. It felt like, oh yeah, Jared Minko, okay, you got the chance to pull somebody in from USC, somebody who won a Rose Bowl title. All right, this is a PR stunt. No. Came on the ground, got it on the ground, and started putting in work. Got a guy from Buffalo, which I said I was talking about the Northeast. Got a guy from Buffalo to transfer down here to play football at quarterback. Got a 4-star recruit running back from Florida. Got a lot of guys throughout the state of Georgia, keeping them in-house to come play in Statesboro. Do y'all guys remember going to every county of the state to find talent? I mean, y'all gotta understand, this is it was after a few months, it wasn't funny no more. After a few months, people was like, oh, they sat back and was like, okay, I see what's going on here. I may need to be quiet and fall back. You notice immediately at once Coach Clay Helton was hired, a lot of teams in the Sun Belt who wanted to talk a lot of noise was really, really quiet all of a sudden. You don't hear that. The guy I don't like to mention, that PR media guy for Georgia State. Name starts with a B. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all don't hear him say much of anything anymore about Georgia Southern. A lot of teams are actually worrying about what's going on down here. A lot of the media guys are actually worried. A lot of fans who really know what's up don't have anything negative to say. Because trust me, if we bombed on this hire, trust me, it'd been a lot of noise talking about it. There's a lot of level of respect of what's going on here. And I think a lot of people who are in-house, now I say in-house as far as at-home fans of Georgia Southern, it took a while for them to process that. Even some former players. Some former players were actually was kind of laughing about this. I don't keep receipts, but I remember. They felt like, they lost a good they lost a good man. And I get it. You're loyal to your coach. I'm not knocking that. But when you see somebody who come in with the acumen of Coach Clay Helton, and yeah, things didn't play out at USC, but that doesn't mean he's not a good coach. But boots on the ground, he made it happen. Literally. He made things happen, boots on the ground. He went to every county. Him and his staff went to every county looking for talent. And I think it paid dividends because he made a rapport. He built a rapport with teams, high school teams throughout the entire state. Like I said, I don't think any other school in the state of Georgia has done that. I don't think Georgia done that. I don't think Kennesaw State done it. And I know for sure Georgia State hasn't done it. And in some cases, UGA don't have to do that. Their brand speaks for itself. And I'm not saying that we'll ever be on that level, but I feel like we could be better than Georgia Tech. I feel like we could be the second best school in the state. And when you sit back and think about that, you also have to sit back and say, all right, this process, man, as being possibly the most decorated school in the state with the 6 national titles, sitting back and just thinking like, man, could we really be that? Is this process that Coach Clay Helton put together really this good? It's hard to really think about it. But finally, what I'll say this before I get out of here, we have to see this on paper. We need to see Cal Van Treese be successful. We need to see Joe Green and Jalen White. We need to see these guys perform at a high level. We need to see our receivers do well. We need to see that front seven punish guys up front. We need to see our secondary take away the football. Get some takeaways out here. This is a fun time to be a Georgia Southern Eagle because there's so many things that are unknown, but based on what we've seen so far, this process is going very well. And it, like I said, it does make you think, is this process too good to be true? Because it seems like it's a tough one to swallow. Shout out to Coach Clay Helton and his staff for basically giving us some type of insight on what's going on and some insight on what we're possibly going to see in the coming months when football season starts. I think this team is going to be really good. And I think the process of this football program is going to be going up to a higher level. So hopefully you guys understood what I was saying. If you like this podcast, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Coach Clay Helton, episode 379. Is the process too good to be true? I'm starting to think that. I've been thinking that for a while now, to be honest. And I want to know what your thoughts as well. You can find me on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, also Apple and Google Podcasts. I'm also on YouTube and Rumble. All the links are down in the description if you want to check out the show and give me some any form of support. I advise you to subscribe on more than one avenue just in case one goes down. Also, if you would like to donate, all the links down there in the description. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you guys for making it this far. I really appreciate all the numbers you guys are producing, making the show be more popular than it was the day before. I can't thank you guys enough. All right, y'all. See you guys on the next one. You guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. Peace.